afternoon. You're watching Newsfeed right here on TV47. My name is Flora Limuki. We kick off where the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentist Board now accuses the county KMPDU Secretary General Davji Atela has insisted that the healthcare workers who are on strike from the counties of Vihiga, Kisumu, Nyamira and Bomet will not resume duty until the respective counties' management heed to their demands.
Za muhimu sana.
Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union.
Za muhimu.
Programs zingine za zinaendelea. Tuko na ile ujenzi wa barabara zinafanywa. Tuko zile trips za magavana na masisi zinaendelea. So huwezi sema hakuna pesa za kulipa wafanyikazi na vitu zinaendelea. Kunao ile tunasema inefficiency kati ya county na national government. Lakini hiyo si shida yetu. Ikiwa county hawana uwezo wa kulipa mshahara, wako na ile haki ya kusema hatuwezi kuwa na wafanyikazi wa afya, waje tuwarudishe waende katika serikali ya kitaifa kwa sababu tumeshindwa. It is the county governments of these 4 counties that are on strike that have not prioritized payment of these workers to facilitate them to go and treat the Kenyans. It is the governor of Vihiga, the governor of Kisumu, the governor of Bomet, and the governor of Nyamira who do not want healthcare workers to reach the hospitals and serve the Kenyans. So immediately they pay, the healthcare workers will be there to offer services. And we want to tell the country and the governors and the government that we are giving a permanent notice for 5th that they must prioritize the welfare of healthcare workers and pay them salary by 5th of every month so that services can continue uninterrupted in the facilities. The reason why now, as we speak, healthcare workers gave notice and actually will continue proceeding on walkouts even next month and continuous month is because they're not prioritized. And most of the times, the counties will pay the contractors, the county will buy materials that are needed for other things, the county will have their staff flying out in different parts of the country and part of the world, but then they will feel that healthcare workers will understand that there is no money. We are saying, the moment you don't prioritize healthcare workers, do not expect them to be at work. So any funds that are received in the counties, the OSOS revenue, if we believe that healthcare is essential, we must put funds to it and ensure that the service providers are prioritized, the drugs are bought, the reagents to the labs actually there, so that Kenyans in this different part of the country can actually get the services that they need.
Moving on, the Kiambu County Assembly have passed a supplementary budget of 17 billion shillings, which was proposed by Governor Kimani Wamatangi. However, the MCAs have lamented that it will be difficult to spend the budget allocated in every department as they only have 2 months before the end of the government year. Further, the MCAs have called upon Governor Wamatangi to use the money to settle pending bills, areas of the previous government, in order to ease the burden of debt from suppliers and contractors. This comes on the backdrop of a recent spike in resignations from county executive committee members from roads, finance and education. The ward heads have faulted the governor for unilateral decisions in the county.
We had a budget of 16.3 billion. 10 billion require salaries, operations and maintenance. 6.3 billion require development. As we are standing here, tumetumia milioni 600. Only tumebaki 5.4 billion. Tuko mwezi wa 4 na mwaka wa serikali unaanza 30 Juni. Sioni tukitumia hiyo pesa na sitarudi treasury karibu bilioni 4.
This whole year, Governor Wamatangi has never invited the members of the assembly for any meeting, any consultative meeting until now. There is a big problem in Kiambu, and I want to appeal the leaders of Kenya Kwanza, led by Mount Kenya Kingpin, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua. Kiambu is burning. You need to come and save this situation. There is a problem in Kiambu. Wamatangi does not listen to anyone. Wamatangi is a one-man show. Wamatangi thinks he's going to run Kiambu County alone.
Elsewhere, a standoff has ensued between two factions of former internally displaced persons over the planned sale of 160 acres of land at Mawingu in Olkalau, Nyandarua, as Chichi Josephine now tells us.
The land in question was bought 16 years ago after each member contributed 10,000 shillings from the amount received as compensation from the government as the IDPs sought refuge at the Nakuru Showground following the 2007-2008 post-poll skirmishes before relocating to Shalom area in Mawingu. Some families want the land sold out and money divided equally among 3,200 IDPs families, while others are opposing the sale and want it shared amongst themselves.
Na vile tulivyosajili miniti zetu 2/3 majority plus 1 imeshapitisha ya kwamba tunataka kuuza shamba, watu wote wapatiwe kile kitu kimepatikana na watu wakuwe settled kwa sababu serikali ilifanya kazi kubwa.
Kila mtu ni memba. Kama yeye ni memba huko alitoa 1000 yake 10, tunamkubali kama memba wetu. Lakini hawezi kupinga pesa yetu, sisi tukose kuuza shamba yetu sababu yake.
The former IDPs led by the Ngiwa Settlement Scheme Chairman Moses Mudumbi said that the land has been lying idle and that is why they had decided to sell it, as he also wondered why some members had gone against the agreement and opposed the move.
Hata wale wanajifanya ni shamba wanataka, baadhi yao tuko nao hapa, wamesaini. Hapo haturudi na shamba yetu haitafanywa biashara na shamba yetu haitafanya ya kusukuma wengine watajirike. Kwa tuko na miaka zaidi ya 13. Tumekaa nje. Hiyo shamba inakondeshangwa. Ni nani anakondesha? Hiyo shamba kuna mtu ambaye anapata interest kupitia kwa kulima yeye mwenyewe. Wanatulipa. Kwa hivyo kama angekuwa mtu, kama wangekuwa watu, wangelima pahali palipo pao. Analima kwangu na analima kwao.
Some members regretted that their children were suffering without school fees and yet the land lay idle.
Hata ikiwa kuna watu wanashare kule, hawa ni kama sisi. Wakanyange nje, wakuwe wakigoja shamba iuzwe kama waiko nje kama sisi.
Na sisi kama CBO ama watu wa Sharom tumekubaliana wote tuweze kuuza ile shamba ili mtu apate kitu kidogo, tuweze kupeleka watoto shule, tuweze kujisaidia.
The other faction led by former Treasurer Sarah Muthoni has since vowed that they will not allow the land to be sold off until they reach consensus.
Sasa tunasema ya kwamba hatutaki mashamba iuzwe. Tunasema ile mashamba tuko nayo igawe vile tulihaidiana na vile katiba yetu inasema kila mtu agawiwe sawa sawa na mwingine. Sababu kila mtu alitoa 10,000.
Chichi Josephine, TV47.
Elsewhere, the Kenya Kwanza and Azimio coalitions have failed to agree on the inclusion of Pokot South Member of Parliament David Kosing and Elders MP Aidan Kinan to the bipartisan dialogue team, leaving the matter to President William Ruto and Raila Odinga. This is after the two sides contested the slots, with Azimio maintaining Kenan, who is a Jubilee Member of Parliament, is still a member of the Azimio coalition. Kenya Kwanza also raised concerns with Kosing, whose party leader, former Governor Lonyanga Poor, entered into an arrangement with Kenya Kwanza. The parliamentary leadership meeting was followed up by the dialogue committee, which also referred the contentious issues to President and Odinga.
We have objected to their objection. Okay? They have equally objected to our objection. And therefore, to be frank enough, that amounts to a stalemate. But we have chosen, as the leadership of the two coalitions in the houses, that for us to resolve this matter and move forward and progress this engagement, we shall be referring these matters to the leadership of our respective coalitions with a view to having it resolved as soon as possible time.
We also appreciate that the bipartisan committee is yet to be formally established as would be in Parliament, and therefore they can begin what we term as the preliminary informal engagements to begin work on the terms of reference of what they ought to be doing and see if they can strike a balance. Our prayer and our hope is that as we have engaged as a House leadership, it is a beginning, and we are all intent in settling all the issues, and we have said that indeed we have been speaking at each other in press conferences, in rallies, in other public engagements.
And just a day after the Ministry of Health, through Health CS Susan Nakumich, appointed names to head different directorates in the health sector, a section of members from some health unions in the country, including Kenya National Union of Clinical Officers and Kenya National Union on Nurses, have called for the immediate revocation of appointments, citing opaque nature of the recruitment exercise.
I've seen some of the very rare specialists. They are being poached from KNH and now being brought into an office when we have other people who can be able to do this. So let me reiterate that our problem is not the doctors. We are not here to complain about the doctors, but we are here to complain against discrimination of other cadres and having one cadre to drive the policies in the health sector when we have 32 cadres in the health sector. And that is why we want the appointments to be revoked and a competitive and transparent process to be initiated. And the result should be that we have a diverse team from all the cadres, so that when they sit to develop policy, then it is practical that they are going to have something that has inputs from the people who are actually on the ground and people who are working.
This said appointment have not considered the competency, suitability, and the suitability of other cadres within the health sector. It is our considered view then that such public appointment, be they on acting or substantive establishment, must observe the doctrine of fairness, inclusivity, and sustainability of candidature.
Elsewhere, Busia County government commenced efforts to decongest towns of Malaba and Busia by controlling traffic brought about by transit vehicles through allocating a designated area for parking. Busia Deputy Governor Ada Odero has noted that congestion of travelers in the two of the mentioned towns is posing a number of threats to locals, as stressing that the county government will allocate a special area to park those trailers away from the extension of the highway into Busia city. Odero noted that the two towns, more than 2,000 trailers pass every day, adding there's need to create a better environment for drivers and all who work in the areas.
Know that Busia is an avenue for business for Kenya to the East and Central African region, and we are happy about that. We want to optimize the opportunity for ourselves by removing those from the road, giving them conducive parking, in the process ensuring that there is hygiene of those trailers and their drivers, ensuring that there is less criminal activities surrounding the trailers, especially at night, protecting the roads, protecting road users, and also generating revenue for the counties. So we are in the process of securing funds for construction of trailer parks in Busia and Malaba. Busia has an average daily traffic of about upwards of 400 trailers per day. Malaba has an estimated average of 1,500 per day. So in a day, we're talking about an average of 2,000 trailers going through our county, heading to different parts of what is the East and Central African business hub. Those trailers, when they're on the road, they cause damage to the road. They become sort of attractions to criminal activities. So with the trailer parks, we will protect the road, we will ensure hygiene, we will generate revenue for the county. So decongesting the road is a major focus that we have.
Hapa sasa. And plans to bury Kisa East MCA Stephen Maloba on Saturday, 22nd this month, have been halted by family to an unknown period. The family of the deceased, who is said to have met his death earlier this month by being stabbed with the knife at a political rally within the ward in Kiswero constituency, has put out claims that the burial progressions will not take place until justice is served. The suspected goons are taken to custody.
Omba kuahirisha mazishi yake mpaka siku ile nitapanga tena vile nitamzika, kwa sababu sioni justice ikifanyika vile nilikuwa nafikiria, kwa sababu mpaka saa hii sijawahi ona wale watu walidunga mume wangu. Nikienda huko kotini wanionyesheko watu wenye walidunga mume wangu, wananiambianga mara wameenda kupimwa akili, mara wameenda wapi, sijawahi waona. Na niko na hamu sana kuwaona ndio nijue nani alihusika na kifo cha mume wangu. Kwa hivyo nimeahirisha mazishi mpaka siku ile nitapanga.
Wakati tunamzika mheshimiwa na mambo kama haya hajafanyika, basi Kisa East, especially Kisa East location, inajiwekea lawama kwa sababu damu yake mheshimiwa Maloba itakuwa inalia na hatutawahi kuwa na kiongozi kutoka Kisa East. Mheshimiwa was killed in a broad light by somebody who was known. So you cannot meander with the issues.
Na ule alikuwa anapinga hiyo kesi, amesema anaenda sijui court of appeal. Anaenda kupinga kwa nini file ya mheshimiwa ilifungwa jana. Na koti jana Justice Chirchir alisema kesi ifungwe kwa sababu IBC ilikubaliana kama mtu amekufa kesi haiwezi endelea. Na ule naye anasema kesi iendelee, Maloba asizikwe kama MCA. Anaenda kwa appeal, so tunangoja appeal. Kama itakuja pia mtuombe,
And the Kushaiti community in Likoni sub-county Mombasa have cried foul of increased insecurity incidents which they say have been targeting them and their businesses. They have criticized the fact that at least 2 members of their community have been killed and many of their businesses robbed with violence for the past few months, while receiving close to no investigation and attention from the security apparatus in the region.
We are expressing our concern over increased cases of insecurity at Likoni and other areas. A similar incident happened in Likoni where a group of youth went around attacking selectively the Kushaiti community and business by looting and injuring. We are calling and informing the security agency to take action seriously against all criminals elements creating problems. We also urge the security agency to give maximum security to our businesses.
Hali sahi iko joto kwa sababu kitu ilitendeka jana. Mambo iko tension kwetu. Alafu kuna maduka haifungi 24 hours. Iko wazi. Siku imebiwa hizo maduka. Kwani yetu imekuwa teke. Hapa na iko lakini pia.
I see the fear is there. Tension. We won't be comfortable. You can't work. Can you focus if you are in tension? You know, we are very productive. Okay, tukiwa na peace na security, we can make where we are a very better place. Lakini when tension is there and fear, sasa tunaogopa hata nyumbani. Unaweza fuata mpaka nyumbani, utafanya vipi? How will we protect ourselves? Kama utakuja unauliwa, unaporwa mali, then you report and then there is no action.
Sisi hatufai kutengwa, kwani sisi wote ni jamii moja. Sisi ni jamii moja, sisi ni Wakenya, wote tuko pamoja. Hakuna haja ya jamii moja kulemewa ili wapate udhaifu wa kufanya biashara, washindwe kufanya mambo yao. Ningependa pia serikali ipate kuangalia na kutusikia kabisa, na security yetu iangaliwe, na hao jamii wetu wamekuwa affected, serikali isimame nao kwa hali na mali.
Moving on, human rights activist-based organizations in Mombasa led by Huria and the Search for Common Ground have held an iftar dinner as a center stage to promote culture and cohesion among women leaders in the region. The forum, which brought together political leaders and women community-based leadership, has advocated for more women empowerment as a basis of social and economic prosperity in the country.
msemo nilikuwa nikiusikia. Itabidi, sawa So
tumeteka advantage ya hii iftar kuleta wamama hawa pamoja wapate platform ya kuweza kujadiliana masuala ya amani, masuala ya usalama na masuala ya kudumisha issues za kupromote culture yetu ya Mombasa County.
Mara nyingi kina mama wamekwa nyuma. Mara nyingi kina mama wanajihisi hawana uwezo. Mara nyingi kina mama wanaona kama mbe hawajapatiwa nafasi. Kwa hivyo lengo kubwa la hafla ya siku ya leo ni kujaribu kutoa pia nafasi ya kwamba kina mama wajihisi wanasikizwa tunapoongelea masuala ya uchaguzi.
Ni wakati mwafaka wanawake kuja karibu, ni wakati wa wanawake kuweza kuangalia ni jinsi gani wataweza kuinuana wenyewe kwa wenyewe. We know that when women comes together, many things can be achieved.
Kule kuweza kuja kusherehekea na wao wakati wa kufuturu is one of the things ambazo tunafanya kama county, kuweza kufoster ile cohesion, especially religious cohesion, ambayo ni muhimu sana katika masuala ya amani, because I think kwamba kuna mataifa na sehemu nyingine nyingi ambazo vitu kama dini vinasababisha ambavyo hauwezi kuvistop.
Cabinet Secretary Simon Chelugui has lamented that there has been a decrease in coffee production over the years, stating that the major bottlenecks include climate change, reducing prices in coffee, as well as delayed payments to farmers. Speaking at the Kirinyaga County, where he met members of the new Ngariama Farmers Cooperative Society, Chelugui stated that the government will revitalize agricultural cooperatives in dairy, cotton, as coffee in a bid to enhance food security. According to Chelugui, Kirinyaga has been earmarked for fertilizer subsidy distribution program by a multi-agency team.
It is estimated that 25 million people globally directly making a living out of coffee, with over 2.5 billion cups of coffee consumed every day. Sasa mnasikia hiyo maneno? 2.25 billion cups of coffee. Na probability ya kwamba hiyo vikombe zingine zinatoka hapa Ngariama. The top 5 coffee producers, Brazil, Vietnam, Colombia, Indonesia and Ethiopia, account for 75% of our global production. In the 2021-22 season of global production, coffee declined to 167.2 million against 170.3 million bags of coffee.
Waziri, in Kirinyaga tuko na union milling factory pale Kemisa. Ni venye wana license. Hivyo akipata license ya kuwa wapatia brokerage certificate permit. Hii kawa yetu instead ya kutoka hapa tunapeleka Mathira, ikienda ikazaa kwa Mathira tunapeleka pale Kutus Kemisa. Ikitoka Kemisa tunarudishiwa, sisi tunaenda kufanya nini? Ku market. Wakifanya hiyo, anajua wakulima hapa wote watafurahia.
Kama tungepata tu usaidizi kutoka kwa different parties which are there, we would be grateful, because I believe hauwezi kawekwa pesa kwa mfuko bila kufanya kazi. Na hao wote ambao mnaona hapa ni watu ambao wanafanya kazi na tena kufanya kazi kwa bidii.
And the health department at the Elgeyo Marakwet County has confirmed that COVID-19 vaccines will expire following few individuals who have come out to receive vaccination. The director in the health department of the county wants more people to take the vaccination and observe the COVID-19 protocols. The director reveals that only 127,000 residents in the county out of the 454,000 have so far taken the vaccination. He has also added that the county government will partner with other stakeholders and institutions to ensure more people get the vaccination and observe the guidelines to reduce the spread of COVID-19.
Kile ambacho tunataka ni kwamba kupata hizi vaccines expand, kwa sababu uptake ya hii vaccines imekuwa low, na ndipo tunakuja pamoja kuhakikisha kwamba tunaweka mikakati hizi, tuone kwamba kuna watu wengi ambao wanahitaji kupata chanjo. Na ninapoangalia statistics yetu kama Elgeyo Marakwet County, tunapata ya kwamba wale watu ambao wamechanjwa hadi sasa bado ni wachache. Kwa projection yetu ya population about 500,000, Kwa wanaume tunaangalia figures ya kwamba tuko na wanaume 65,316 ambao wamechanjwa na wanawake 61,000